Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion, a podcast exploring Christian faith and practice from a Reformed Baptist perspective. My name is Joe Thorne. I'm the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Jay Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
You know what the slogan is for Vegas, right? 'Cause I know you've been to Vegas, so you know the slogan of Vegas.
Yes, I have been there a few times.
What is the slogan?
I can't talk about it.
That's not the slogan.
No, but I can't tell you because...
Everybody knows what the slogan is. It's in all the commercials.
There stays there, and I can't let
you
know
exactly
right. Whatever
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Now, thankfully, that is not the slogan of Slack. Because on Slack today, you had to issue another apology.
Why are you doing this?
You are like a walking apology.
Why are you doing
like
this?
in every arena of life, you're issuing apologies.
Here's the difference, though, between myself and others.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I know how to apologize. I've had so much experience.
Yes, you have a doctorate.
So I have learned. I have gone through the defensive and like justifying my my sin.
I'm sorry, but
yeah. Or even not even doing that. Blaming you.
Oh yeah.
Right, like the whole blaming of the individual and not even ever saying sorry.
Right.
Then I went to the sorry, but
right.
Then I finally arrived to.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Hey man, I'm sorry. This is what I did. It was wrong. Hope you'll forgive me.
That's it.
Yeah, you've got.
I've got that down. I've got that down pat.
Hashtag Jimmy is an apologist. Yeah.
That's the only apologist I would ever be.
Yeah. This is the only apology I listen to is Jimmy.
It's me. Well, I'm pretty good at it. Yes. Thank you, Joe. I did pin it. As you saw, I pinned it within Slack.
Well, Jimmy apologized for just it wasn't even a big deal. Jimmy said, "Hey man, I'm sorry about this," and then I responded with apology is now under review because I don't know if I'm going to accept it or not. You know, it wasn't even to me.
It wasn't even to you. It was to another. Yeah, one of the other elders.
Yeah, and but I still put it under review.
Yeah,
and then I flagged it.
I flagged it, but then hold on, and then I went in and said this would be saved as an example for all.
Yeah, and now it's pinned.
And now it's pinned in the channel.
Yep.
Everyone can now go. Every time they go in the channel, it's right there.
But then Brian gave it a copyright disclaimer.
Oh, yes, he did. This is boilerplate copyright Jimmy Fofo.
Oh, man.
That's how I do. How's your day been?
Good. I got a lot done.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. Hearing the sermon. How's it going? How's the prep?
I'm up.
Just stop it. Like your eyes said, oh, wait, Advent 2019?
Oh, man. Nobody will remember what I did last year, right? I can just use last year's. Is that how it works?
You probably can. It's usually the same passages.
Yeah, well, it's usually the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, nope, things are good, man.
Repackaged differently.
Things are good. Yeah, everything's coming along good.
What's the passage?
What's the passage?
Yeah. What text are you? What text are you preaching on?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh man, I put you on the spot. You weren't expecting it. We were only going to talk, but you know what?
No, I'm in Luke.
You're Luke. Okay.
Yeah.
So. Now, one of the things we haven't talked about yet on the podcast is our 5-star reviews.
Now, we do have a lot of 5-star reviews on the iTunes.
On the iTunes.
Hundreds and hundreds, like 600 or something like that.
We have a lot of 5-star reviews there. But we're also now getting 5-star reviews in other places.
Yeah. And, we mentioned that, hey, if you guys want to leave a 5-star review and you don't have access to iTunes, you can just go into various blog posts and social media platforms and just start giving us 5-star reviews, even if it doesn't relate.
So I saw people giving us a 5-star review on like a TGC article.
Yep, the Gospel Coalition. Just in the comments.
In the comments, I just wanted to give the Doctrine and Devotion a 5-star review.
Here's an example. Swain 3535.
He has been busy.
Now this is the main guy.
He's been.
Is it Brandon? Is that his name? Is it Brandon? So Brandon has been leaving 5-star reviews for us on all kinds of social media posts. Gospel Coalition founders. Now there was this would have been back. I don't even remember when, like about maybe a week or two ago. I think this was during the Founders Conference, the 2019 Founders Conference on Law and Gospel. And they have a picture of our man, Jim Renahan.
Jim the Man Renahan.
And Swain 3535 says, I just want to give Doc and Devo 5 stars. I've been listening to them for about a year and a half now and have grown so much from their podcast. Joe and Jimmy are knowledgeable and trustworthy guys that really know how to unpack the Bible and theology. They're the best podcast around. 5 stars.
So he's been copy and pasting that at other places. He did on Instagram at the Mission Aware put a post up. So he went in the comments and there, and it looks like I don't know what this is. This is a Joel Osteen. What do you call that Instagram video? Not see. Like you know how it's like IGTV. Story. IGTV.
Oh, IGTV. Yeah.
So he goes to their IGTV and it's Osteen. And he leaves that honest five-star review for us there.
All right, so Swain 3535.
Yeah.
You the man.
You the man.
You the man. So man. Yeah, things are going good. Got a lot done. Hey, you know what? We can say we can let people know that very shortly there will be on our website a registration page. For the 2020 Southwest Doctrine and Devotion Conference going down March 21st.
Just outside Dallas.
Dallas-Fort Worth area in Burleson, Texas at Grace View Church. We're going to be hitting it up there. We're doing the Contending for the Gospel series. Really excited to be doing it. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a hangout the night before. So March 21st. It's not going to be up when this episode drops, but it will be up shortly if Jimmy gets off of his rear end and gets the registration page.
Because we weren't waiting on you for
not waiting anymore now.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
now
it's on you.
Did something. After 3 to 4 weeks. 6 weeks? Are you ready to give an apology?
I smell an apology coming.
No.
From you.
Are you ready to? Listen, I set the bar on how to do it. So now is your opportunity.
I thought Dwayne set the bar.
Well, he lowered the bar.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, you want to go ahead and apologize?
For what now? What am I apologizing
for? Not getting your stuff done on time?
Okay.
Now that you're finally
I'm sorry that my wife had surgery and my son injured himself and I didn't have the opportunity. I had to be caring for others.
At least you're at the second phase. You're in the sorry butt phase. Congratulations
I skipped right over that total defense. I got a half defense, half apologize.
So, Joe, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't even care. What are we doing? We're going to do mailbag.
There we go.
All righty then. And if I can, now I've lost it.
Oh, did you lose your notes?
No, here it is. Here we go. Got it right up here.
All right, go ahead.
We got 4 emails that we're going to read through. One is on a kind of hyper-conservatism. Here we go. The subject is Bully Pen, and the message is, Hey guys. Over the last year, I've seen a rise in the hyper-conservative camp within Christianity, and specifically within the SBC. Specifically, that guy likes that word.
He loves that word.
Man, that's specifically his favorite word. Specifically, the pulpit and pen. Conversations that matter, and even Christian radio shows starting to report on articles that these folks put out. I go to Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary, and we are one of the main targets of these groups for various reasons. Yeah, because you guys are a bunch of social justice warriors.
And you're not Southern Baptist Theological Seminary.
Yeah, well, no, they're targeted too now.
Yeah, they're targeted now?
Because all you guys are into critical race theory. All right, anyways. All this to say, I've been extremely discouraged at times over the last year due to these increasingly tense circumstances within our denomination. I also know that you guys have been the target as well. And so with all of that, I was wondering, what words of wisdom would you offer on what to do and how to approach the situation when someone like me or others continually come across slanderous, hateful, and untrue articles? And what should we do when we see churches leaving the SBC because of these issues of critical race theory, intersectionality, and justice issues? I appreciate you guys. That's a good question.
That's a great question.
All right. So
now, Joe, you've been bullied. You've been bullied. How have you handled bullies?
Is it bullying if you don't really care?
No, that's not bullying.
Yeah, so
that's just being annoyed.
So I've been annoyed.
You get annoyed.
Yeah, I've been annoyed by Pulpit and Pen and a couple of others. But all right, so let's just go through these.
Yep.
So what words of wisdom, I don't know if we have wisdom, but what words of wisdom would you offer continue to come across these slanderous, hateful, untrue articles? Okay. Well, if the articles are in fact slanderous, hateful, and or untrue, meaning they came from Pulpit and Pen or something like that, I would say ignore them, do not respond to them, do not share them, do not follow them, do not give them any more press or help them don't give them another plank for their platform. Even people block these guys, and for them, that's another plank in their platform. They love being blocked. Look at these people blocking me. They can't handle the truth.
Look at all these truth bombs I'm bringing out.
Yeah. You're not Jack Nicholson, homeboy. Okay, so it's not that we can't handle the truth. It's that you're annoying and you're a terrible person. So that's one of the things I would say. Don't engage. Don't give it any kind of platform, and effectively teach your friends and or peers or the people that you lead the danger of those kinds of sites, or even if you find a particular person or group of people that are moving in that trajectory, moving in that direction, issue warnings to your friends about that. Like, hey, I'm concerned about this. I see this happening. So, I would address the issue with friends and peers, but I wouldn't go on social media to engage on.
No, and I think, it's easy to go to the extreme of pulpit and pen, but what about others that, and I think this is where my advice would be slow to speak, right?
Yeah.
Be slow to speak, quick to listen, and take time to discern what some people are saying. Now, there are people out there that are critical of some of the issues that you're speaking of, but their heart is not to just their intention and heart is not to slander,
right?
But they are seeking to right the course. They are seeking to confront what they see as sin, and so I think don't fall into this trap of getting defensive and dismissive of other people's viewpoints. Because I think that's the part that we're kind of seeing within our denomination today is people are splitting up into two camps. And it's either you're in this camp or you're in the other. There's no middle ground. There's no opportunity for conversation.
Yeah,
the conversation must be on my terms and in my definitions only. Yeah, it's a weird and discouraging place that we're in. So I just want to have something better. I want to have something better where we don't just dismiss others if they disagree with where we are, or if we disagree with what they're saying, but we seek to hear what it is, because there are true things that they are saying that we need to everyone,
right?
You need to hear it, right?
Even pulpit and pen, right? The problem is with pulpit and pen, as the extreme example is, even when they're right, you can't really back them because they say so much that is not true. Whereas there are other people that, like us, like we don't like critical race theory or intersectionality. I think that those are dangerous, unhelpful ideologies.
Oh, but we're still so liberal.
Right. And so, the problem is like, Jimmy, I just want to back what you're saying. What you see happening in the SBC is simply a reflection of what's happening in America.
Yeah.
We have been so captivated by the spirit of the age that we like to pick a side and go hardcore against the other and not really properly evaluate where our side is going wrong, where we might be erring or where the other side might be right. Again, we say it all the time. How is this person, sometimes our opponent, how are they right and how are they wrong?
Yeah.
There's got to be some ways in which they're right, and let's see if there is. And if there isn't, then okay, they are really wrong. But I think we should be able to have the conversations. And I know you asked, like, what about these people that are leaving the convention because of CRT, intersectionality and whatnot? Well, you know what? That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Some people are going to leave your church. Some people are going to leave the denomination.
That group of people have that right to do that.
And if they want to leave, okay, they're going to leave. And
the Lord, and that's just it. I think we have to trust if that's what the Lord has called them to do, then that's what the Lord's called them to do.
Could be that the Lord is making them make a stupid mistake.
Could be.
Yeah. So it's like, but we can't do much about that.
No.
Encourage people to stay. We like being a part of the SBC because it's Big Tent Baptist. And we, of course, we have our own little Reformed Baptist tent. We like our tent, but we like playing with others. We like cooperating broadly and learning from people and contributing to this whole larger enterprise. So for us, it's good. And, I'm not interested in leaving the SBC. Sometimes I want to leave the SBC. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I want to leave the SBC because of the fighting. It's just like there's been so there's been so much bad. There's been so many inappropriate conversations happening just on Twitter.
Yeah.
Among Southern Baptists and obviously among all Christians, like where it's just there's just so much heat and hate and harsh mocking. I mean, I don't sense any gospel warmth in some of those conversations, and that's really discouraging. So I get wanting to leave, but hopefully we can be a little bit smarter about it. Hey, friend who sent this email, we would just say this. This is my big piece of advice especially for people in ministry, but this will go for everybody. Focus on your church and your circle of influence. Put your energies there. Don't get too wrapped up in what's happening on those interwebs.
Perfect. Next one, Joe, is about sabbaticals for pastors. Recently, there was a video that Christian Post had shared of a preacher who told his congregation that he was tired and needed to step away from ministry. According to the article, he is stepping away from January 1st to April 1st. In his explanation... Go ahead.
That's a long time.
4 months?
Yeah. That's a long time.
Well, it depends on how long the guy's been preaching for. I don't know. You had a 3-month sabbatical?
1 month, ding-a-ling.
No, 3 months.
No, I get 4 weeks as my sabbatical.
In his explanation, well, you've only been here for 10 years.
Every 7 years, we get 1 month sabbatical.
Oh no, I made that thing. I'll take a look. And see what I put.
just like last time. This is deja vu all over again, where you don't know your job.
That policy, so I'll let you know.
I know the policy because I'm the one that benefits from it.
I wrote the policy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
in his explanation to his congregation, he said, "I have spiritual goals. I want to know what it's like on my knees for 1 hour in the morning before God. Now I understand why pastors need rest." Oh, sorry. So this is what the guy said. "I want to know what it's like on my knees for 1 hour in the morning before God." End quote. Now, I understand why pastors need rest. However, this phrasing made me ask a pastor, as a pastor, why are you not already doing this daily? How can you feed sheep if you are not fed? Maybe this is pretentious, but it's also a genuine question. Should pastors take long breaks, aka sabbaticals? If so, how long is too long before he no longer shepherds his people?
Good question.
Yeah.
Don't bother having Jimmy write your policy because he won't remember what it says after he's written it, apparently.
Hey, before I got here, you didn't even have one, so you're welcome.
No,
Yeah.
I know we didn't.
Yeah, and you weren't going to fight for it, so you're welcome.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so in general, we think the idea of a sabbatical, especially in certain fields, is really good and sometimes very necessary. So without getting into the whole, and I think we've done an issue on sabbaticals, but without getting into the whole issue of why would a pastor need a sabbatical when other people don't need a sabbatical, well, there are various professions and vocations that do allow for sabbaticals. Oftentimes, it's a time of research that's happening. For pastors, it's oftentimes that. Sometimes it's just refreshment. In particular, there is a burden and a load that comes with pastoring the church, and whether that is an emotional tax or a time tax or all of the above. Some churches have decided to give their pastors a break and to sort of like let them get away for a little bit. And we think that is great. If the church wants to do that, we think that that's a good thing. If somebody needs a break away from their job or ministry, hopefully they can do that if it's needed, and then the church can decide how they want to respond to that need. Maybe they'll pay during that time, or maybe just give that person a break. But you asked first about this explanation that this guy wants to know what it's like to be on his knees for 1 hour in the morning before God, and I understand your question. And honestly, I, on the one hand, I would agree with you. Like, well, that's a weird thing for a pastor to say, like, I don't know what it's like to just be on my knees before God for an hour. Not because I am on my knees every morning for an hour before the Lord, but because we do have a higher level of control over our schedules than a lot of other vocations.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And yes, as a pastor, our primary responsibility is the ministry of prayer and the word. So that is built into my schedule. There is no excuse for me to not be in the word and in prayer on the regular.
Yeah.
Because we, in a sense, get paid to do that in part. So that is a weird thing. Now, in defense of I don't know this guy, but this pastor, oftentimes pastors are overwhelmed by schedules that are outside of their control. So maybe they let things get out of hand, or maybe they've inherited or stepped into a church where there are certain expectations where they don't have that kind of time. And so maybe he needs to reset and reevaluate how his ministry schedule is working.
Or maybe he's burnt. He's burnt, and the time that he's spending in the word or in prayer is not, it's not fruitful. It's not life-giving, and it's become more just routine. Now,
so I would say be sensitive to pastors and leadership should be sensitive to the people, especially those who are weary and in need, volunteers. And the church should be sensitive to the needs of the pastors at the church to make sure that they are being cared for as well in their role. All of that's fine.
And it was a month that you got.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm making sure you understand. You only had a month.
Yeah,
because I did the 4 weeks while you're away. Now I remember. Yes, I did on Jonah.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. Yeah. Now,
that's what I said.
No. Yeah. I'm letting you know it's 4 weeks.
You're letting me know that I was right. Yeah. Okay,
no, I'm letting you understand that. Yeah, 4 weeks. Don't think it was more. Don't think it was 3 months. Joe, come on.
I wouldn't take 3 months away. That's weird to me. That's a long time, unless you have enough support staff, and if that time away was something that would specifically benefit the church itself and not just be for refreshment. They give us a month off because they want us to take a break and unplug. So that's great. Pat, I did mine at 7 years. Pat did his at 7 years. So every 7 years we get one. Some churches want to do this annually. That's fine. But after 4 weeks, it's getting pretty long. And so I don't know. I would...
I also think it depends on the church, like on the size of the church, right? The level of responsibility, things like that. I mean, I think Piper took a year, didn't he?
Piper sabbaticals were always to produce books.
Yeah, so he took a year.
I don't think so.
I thought he took a year. He took a year sabbatical before he announced he was.
Yeah. He took that was different. That was a reflection on ministry and what he was going to keep on doing. But he did have sabbaticals and breaks to write books.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how long. What about Chandler? What does Chandler take?
I don't know. Hey, Matt. Well, you don't listen to our podcast.
No, send me a text, Matt.
Yeah,
let me know what
he comments on some of my Instagrams.
Oh, does he really?
Yes, he does. Hey, Matt. How come they're not inviting you to T4G anymore? What happened there?
I think he's on sabbatical.
No, he's not invited.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I just remember this one. Okay, you did. So I just remember there was a point that I know this year he was going on sabbatical.
Yeah. And I'm not dogging you, Matt. I'm more like saying like, hey, T4G, who doesn't want Matt around? What happened? I remember you brought him in.
The same people that don't want the Jofo.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants us. What are you talking about? We have to do our own thing. We have to put on our own conferences.
We have to put our own conference so
T4G ain't having us. All right. Hey, I'm going to T4G. It's going to be fun.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah,
it's going to be good. All right. Let's do, so how long? It depends on the church.
I think it depends.
Obviously it's not a sin issue, but let's be wise and not take advantage. And if you're going to do that, make sure you're making the most of your time. Ooh, okay. We got one, elder candidates.
All right, go for it.
Would you be able to direct me to a description or document of how Redeemer Fellowship goes about describing elder candidates, their roles, the tasks, and responsibilities they are to do, and those they do not do, the time, this is still one sentence, the time usually taken from candidate appointment to becoming an elder. I found the Constitution for Redeemer Fellowship, but I am looking for a bit more specifically on the elder candidate idea. Our church has 2 to 3 elders, elder rule church, has more men that could be elders one day, but we have a very comprehensive eldership process application, which we desire. But we can take, I hope you're not writing their documents for the church, but we can take some time to complete. Wanting to suggest an elder candidate scenario to our elders so that some of the burden on their shoulders can be shared by more shoulders, but we don't know enough of how it plays out. Any help you can give would be appreciated. Oh, he's from Canada. That's why. Oh, okay. I'm sorry for dogging you, Matilda. You're from Canada. That's your handicap. So that's
stop.
Fine. No, like golf, like golf handicap.
No, stop it.
Okay, so do we have an elder candidate? Yeah, we've got an elder candidate. I can send you a document.
Yeah, we got the document, but we've also got we have a couple episodes.
Yeah, just search in our thing for elder candidates. But in short, the time frame for our elder candidates is a minimum of 12 months.
Minimum. It could go longer as needed.
But very few do it. Not very many of our elders have done it in 12 months. It's usually longer.
Yeah, usually longer.
Yeah, usually longer.
Minimal.
Now,
by very few, it's been none.
No, it's been more. It's been a few. Yeah, there's been a few of them.
Who?
Yeah. Well, me for one.
Yes, you were leading the thing.
What are you talking about?
You were leading
so it.
Doesn't
You matter. I did it.
So and
you know how long it took me?
I know, but
you know how long it took me?
Well, how long?
Like a day.
Mm-hmm. And then, from my understanding, when you guys were doing it, there was no.
There were 4 of us.
There was no paper. It was just reading.
Oh yeah. Well, because we know what we know. When you showed up, we're like, we don't know what he knows. We better write a paper. That guy better write a paper.
So I just want to make very clear, you guys weren't doing papers and any of that kind of stuff. You were just reading.
I did all my papers in seminary.
Yeah, okay, but hold on, but not the other three that were part of it.
But I did mine.
Yeah, you see? So I just want
so here's
the record.
For the record.
You sit there and talk about, we did it in 12 months. The only people that did it in 12 months, the only people that had to read or say they read. Because I've been in those meetings. Patrick.
Well, Pat didn't have to read anything. He was a founding elder. No, I don't even know. It's so long. It was like 13 years ago, dude. I don't remember. Okay, anyways. So here's the thing. So we find people in the congregation. We're always watching. People can, of course, make recommendations to the elders at any time.
Yep.
So we're scanning, we're looking, and when it's time for us to bring on some new elders because of the workload is too much, then we look for men in the church that are qualified, as far as we can tell, to be elders. Right? They meet the qualifications in 1 Timothy 3. 2, they share our vision for what the church is. Like
yes.
they hold to the same doctrines that we hold to. And C, they have. I'm 3.
And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 3.
1, 2, 3. 3. I don't know. It don't matter.
You had 1, 2, B.
C and 3 are the same thing, though. Okay, you're gonna owe me an apology here.
Why?
Because you're making fun of me. You're making fun of me. Hell with a seminary, bro.
The Southern Baptist Theological Seminary.
Never took math. All right,
pilot math or airplane math. What was that? Aviation math. What'd you have over in over at Moody?
No math.
They had something.
Nope. You could choose between science or math.
Oh, and you chose science?
Yeah. But I took it at the community college and watched it all on VHS tapes at double speed.
It all makes so much sense. No wonder you're a young earther.
Oh, stop it. People are going to think I'm a young earther now.
What, are you going to go to the museum?
He's like,
Ken Ham's going to invite you.
He's a young earther? Unfortunately, I'm not a young earther.
He's going to try to sponsor the podcast.
All right. So what were we talking about?
You're giving us C or 3.
Oh, so we find these guys, right? They meet the qualifications. They agree with us doctrinally in terms of vision. But then the third, or C, is that they are strong where we as an elder team are weak in their personal giftedness and things like that. So once we find all of that, we talk to them, we talk to their wives, we pray about it, and then we bring it to the congregation and we say, hey, congregation, this person or these guys are the elder candidates for the next 12 months or more. During that time, you can watch them. You'll be seeing more of them. If you have any questions or concerns, talk to them or talk to the elders.
Yeah.
Once they complete all of their material and their work, and we are satisfied, we will present them to you for a vote to be received as elders. That will then be your decision. Now, during that time, Jimmy, what do they do during that 12 months or more?
There's readings, papers, reports, like book reports. Well, you won't call it a book report in a sense. A 1-page kind of summary of
they read. They meet with me.
Yep. And then they're reading a systematic theology. They can choose which one, and then they write a paper. And
that's just some of the basics, right? That we tell them that you got to be doing: reading, writing, meeting with me for coaching and that kind of stuff. But also, they're engaged in ministry.
Correct. So they kind of are part of some sort of leadership level of a ministry here at church, whether it's community groups or discipleship groups or hosting. A lot of times we'll have like key hosting, something up front.
They might be
preaching, helping with the confession and communion,
puppet ministry.
Yep. So they'll be up front. People have an opportunity to see them in action.
Okay, there's no puppet ministry, by the way. I said puppet ministry, and you said yeah. I just want to make sure everybody
else. What did you say? Puppet?
Yeah. Make sure nobody.
I thought you said pulpit.
Yeah. But also, they are involved in our elders' meetings.
Yes.
They are involved in elder care issues. And so they have a voice. We want them to speak up. We want them to participate. They don't have a vote or anything like that, but they bring their perspective and their expertise to it. And so they are very much engaged and involved. And so that's what's going on. And that's basically how it works. Hey, bro, I will try and remember to send you something, but I think I already archived your email, so it's probably not going to happen. All right, Jimmy, what is the next email?
All right. This one is by
Dave Huggs.
Huggs?
Yeah, that's his name.
Dave Huggs.
Dave Huggs.
Hi, Jimmy.
That's the title of the email.
No, that's the message.
Oh, message that says hi, Jimmy.
The subject is follow-up from this week's 1689 episode. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, you're happy that he's talking to you.
He's talking to me, not you. All right. So, hi, Jimmy. And that just shows the alpha that I am. The alpha that I am. The alpha that I am.
You're a Delta man. What are you talking? You're not even a beta.
You're not even part of this conversation right now.
You get your shoes shined and wear tapered carrot stick jeans. Man.
That's a lie, and
Jimmy's
the
jeans.
Shoe shines. No. The shoe shine
Jimmy's
is correct.
jeans are tapered.
First of all,
they look like little carrots.
First of all, they are tapered, yes, but they are not to the extent that you're talking about. That is a lie. You need to apologize.
Jimmy wears skinny jeans.
I do not wear.
Okay, go ahead, Jimmy. Whatever.
First of all, when has anyone ever seen me in skinny jeans?
That's why I can say it and not have to say I'm joking, because obviously you're not wearing skinny jeans.
Why? Obviously.
Because you have better style than that.
Oh, well done. Well done. Okay.
Everybody knows you're the stylish one here.
I don't know about that, but anyways, hi, Jimmy. I'm not sure exactly how I discovered the podcast, but I've been blessed by it since working through the 1689 every Monday.
None of these people can write. These guys are the worst. Hey, Dave.
I've been blessed by it since. And working through the 69 every Monday has been especially helpful for me in my walk
with Christ.
There you go. In this week's episode, while discussing acceptable reasons for Christians to miss corporate worship, one of you mentioned mental health.
That would have been me.
Okay. I work in mental health, and while certainly some situations, severe depression, panic attacks, etc., may rise to the level of impeding our ability to attend services, I also believe strongly that the church can and ought to be a place where we bring exactly those things.
100%.
Not that we expect miraculous cures, but I would say that my church ought to be the first place I bring all of my hurt and brokenness and should be a source of support and resilience. That's great.
Dave is smart. I like Dave. We agree. Go.
Okay. How then should Christians think about assessing the health of our local church based on whether people feel comfortable bringing those things into our churches? When should a Christian consider finding a new church home in light of how comfortable they feel bringing their mental health struggles to church? Just wondering if you guys would add some perspective here. Thanks. P.S. I will acknowledge Joe again when he grows out his beard and renounces his heretical views of Baby Yoda because I handle things like a mature adult and all.
And PPS, Jimmy, what does that one say? It says, Jimmy, PPS. You're still the podcast wife, though. Take it easy, guys. Dave.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, the reason he said in his message, hi, Jimmy, is because ladies first. All righty. So... Yeah, Dave, absolutely. My little tiny throwaway comment there obviously could be taken in some bad ways. You are about, mental health issues might keep you from church. We 100% agree with you. And as a guy that struggles with anxiety and whatnot, I totally agree. So you want the local gathering of God's people to be the place where you can come with your burdens and with your brokenness. Now, you said, how should Christians think about assessing the health of our local churches based on whether people feel comfortable bringing these things into our churches? So really, I think the issue then is, are our churches safe places where we can be ourselves and confess our sins and our brokenness? Not always the same thing, right? Brokenness is not necessarily sin. Brokenness is going to just be human frailty. Sin is sin. So can I confess my sins and be honest about my brokenness and my needs? How can you assess the health of that? Well, number one, I would listen to what's being said from the pulpit. That's one of the, that is like the megaphone of what we believe, and a lot of stuff's going to be coming from there. So that's number one. That's something that I would be paying attention to. I
would also be paying attention, specifically if you're in a leadership role of the church. I think I would be taking note of, do people feel comfortable sharing what's going on in their lives? Right. And that's not to say we have to go try to, I'm not saying if no one's coming forward that you're an unhealthy church, but I would be asking, is there something that's prohibiting people, right? Are we giving off a vibe of like not being accessible or not caring or not desiring to help shepherd and walk people that are struggling through what they are struggling with?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you may not be able to tell right off the bat, but then certainly you should be taking that risk yourself, right? If you are a leader, if you are healthy, you should be able to sort of test those waters by being honest and by encouraging others to do it. I don't know. Here's the thing. We have a lot of people at our church that are jacked up. And we're pretty honest about this. And like, I'm including myself in that. I'm the lead guy, right? I'm the preaching pastor.
Yeah. And you're the lead mess up.
I am like, me, right? All of my problems, warts and all. So anyway, yes, I pointed to the wart on my head. A literal wart on my head.
Dude, it's getting like.
Oh, I know, it gets bigger. Yeah. It's gotten bigger, and then it's totally gone away, and then it comes back. It's like Halley's Comet, but it happens more often. So, just as beautiful.
Just as beautiful.
Attracts just as much attention. People just stare at it.
Just, wow, what is that? What's going on there?
Halley's Comet is hairy. Brown.
Well, it's just, not hairy. It's got one hair.
It's fuzzy. It's like
got that one hair that comes out.
So I think that's something to listen to the preaching. What do you see happening from the people? But I don't know, man. I think if like here, your second question right here. When should a Christian consider finding a new church home in light of how comfortable they feel bringing their mental health struggles to church? Now, I know that you would say, Dave, that it's more to it than that, but we actually are pretty easy on people who want to leave the church.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to leave the church, we want to bless them as they go. Now, we want to talk to them, if at all possible, and find out, have we wronged you? And why do you want to leave? Because there may be something that we need to apologize for, or something that we need to fix in our church. Mm-hmm. Or it may be that there's something going on in their life, and they may need a warning, they may need a rebuke, or they may simply need some encouragement. So when should we consider finding a new church home? I think that is somewhat subjective because everybody has some different needs. We just had a family, we mentioned it a little while ago, that one of our families decided to go to another church, and they didn't say, like, in fact, they said we're not mad at anybody, but we want something closer to home. And I think there was that. And I think there was probably some other needs that they had that we can't meet as a church. That's totally fine. But I would want to, I would just go ahead and talk to the pastors. I would start there. How do you handle people who are struggling with anxiety? Like, what is your counsel? What kind of counselors do they connect to? What's the path forward for people who are struggling? But you know what? We are not mental health experts. And so, you know what we do, Dave? We refer our people to people like you when they need help beyond discipleship and general kind of counsel and care. Yeah. General counsel and care and discipleship, we can do that. But we have people in our church who are professional counselors that we refer people to. And we say, hey, listen, you've got some needs. We want to go ahead and encourage you to go there and to get some help. So we are thankful for you, man, and for the vocation that God has given you, because listen, I've benefited from counseling. We know a lot of people have been really redeemed from despair by insightful, educated people who understand not just how the brain works, but how people work through their problems, and then ultimately how we can find hope and redemption in Jesus Christ. So, yeah, man, we love our mental health professionals, counselors, and all of that. That's about all I got. Jimmy?
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can follow us online on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter.
Yeah, I've noticed you do combine a lot of
I do combine a lot of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Instagram and Twitter at Doc and Devo.
Yeah.
Or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion.
Wow.
Yeah. That's great. Fresh pod every Monday and Thursday. Blog post on Wednesdays. Later.
So erudite and so clear and Thank you. You know?
Man.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I'm proud of you.
That means a lot.
No,
but?
No.
Oh, is this going to be
No, I'm just going to pat you on the head.
That was a bless his heart moment.
It's a bless your heart.
I hate you.